Hustle culture has told you many times that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. But what if I told you that's barely even half of the truth? And not fully understanding that and believing it is actually keeping you stuck in the hustle trap and having to grind constantly and feel drained. See, if you're an entrepreneur, then in this video, I will show you how I went from being stuck in that very trap myself to turning my work into play. So basically, each day I'm in flow and I get way far more done in less time and effort because I actually love my work. And to do that, I will walk you through these 5 simple steps. And by the end, my hope is that you'll be able to plug this into your life and your business and hopefully actually put yourself in the right places where you love your work and your work feels like play and you don't need to feel like you have to work all day and grind. And well, I won't tell too much of a story today because I actually filmed a video on this 2 days ago. But essentially, when I first started my journey, I grinded so hard that one day I passed out on the grass and the police found me on the grass and I woke up and I was extremely confused and had no idea what was going on. But as it turned out, the reason I was there is because I was so run down. And not because of the run that I had done before I fell asleep on that grass, but because my work was so draining and exhausting, and I worked 14-hour days, 6 days a week at 17. And I ended up just falling asleep on the grass next to a busy road. And that was a massive wake up call. And a few months after that happened, I eventually came across great authors and thinkers like Naval Ravikant. I have a book from Naval Ravikant and Dan Koh. And today I'm going to show you how they've changed my life, essentially. And let's start here with point number one of 5. Danko says the future of work will not be work, it will be play. Now, to illustrate what this means, imagine being on a seesaw. And by the way, the seesaw is meant to represent work. So let's imagine that each time you manage to get the seesaw up to the top and back down, that's 1 unit of work. And imagine your side of the seesaw is so short, you don't even have anywhere to sit. That's what it's like to hustle. You have no leverage. You're just working hard. And well, the reason you have to work hard is because you have no leverage. And we resort to, well, working hard and hustling because that's all we can see, all we know. Whereas when you actually have, a far longer bit on your side of the seesaw, then you have leverage. And the way to create that leverage is you stack your own talents. Now, hear me out, because I know what you're thinking right now. That sounds absolutely ridiculous. You're thinking, is this guy seriously going to spend this video telling me to pursue my talents? Just wait a minute, because I did not believe this either a couple of years ago. So the point is, and that takes us on to number 2, that Naval Ravikant said, if they can train you to do it, they will eventually train a computer to do it. And that's because computers have no emotions and they have no talents. They don't choose what they want to do. They just get programmed to do something, and they can hustle very hard, and they're also extremely efficient because computers don't need lunch breaks like we do. So that means that our edge as humans moving on to the future of work is, well, our edge definitely is not in grinding and working the hardest and trying to be as efficient as possible, because if that's what we're going to do, then as Naval Ravikant said, they're going to train a computer to do it and to replace us. And the key, as Naval says, is to build specific knowledge. Specific knowledge is basically what Naval calls, or the name Naval has, for knowledge that is unique to you. Basically, You can't be taught to do it because you just learned it through your own unique experience. And I'll give you an example. In my case, my specific knowledge is my combination of my knowledge and human potential and human drive and motivation and all the fundamentals that I've learned about self-knowledge and productivity and mindset and performance. So there's so many different segments that I can add here to my philosophy to teach you these things. It's not like I have a bachelor's degree in one specific thing like nutrition or productivity. I combine all the experiences I've had, and not because I have any, special certificates, but because I've been in the trenches of life myself for years in the pain, and I've known what it's like not to know these things because that's why I was in pain. And I searched relentlessly for solutions to my pain. And thanks to that, I learned so many different things. And now I've developed specific knowledge. And the way you develop specific knowledge, says Naval, is you pursue your own genuine curiosity, your innate talents, and your true passion. And the reason for that is because when you pursue specific knowledge, you're pursuing things that you're actually interested in, and then it feels like play. Now, before I lose you, once again, wait till we get to the end of this, because I know this goes against what everyone tells you. And like I said, I myself did not believe this in the beginning. So let me give you an example. When it comes to genuine curiosity, I'm genuinely interested in the topic of human potential. I want to, well, I scour everything I can and I want to just throw myself into learning about human motivation and human drive and motivation are similar things, human mindset and our biology, our psychology, all these things so I can teach you these things. And the reason for that is because teaching people and inspiring people is my passion. I love coaching people, and my innate talents are also, well, they lie in ideas, working with my ideas like I am here, because I've combined ideas from various different people here, and also working with people, because right now I'm teaching you. And I really hope that I'm able to actually help you change your life and potentially inspire you or whatever it be. And that moves us on to number 3, because this is where the hustle culture advice comes in. They say hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I've attributed that quote to Grain Set Twitter at 2 a.m. just for the joke of it. But the point is, imagine having a beautiful, muscly horse that is exceptionally fast and, well, just incredibly athletic or just incredibly capable. So that horse is very talented, let's face it. But that doesn't mean that because it's talented, it doesn't need to work hard. It's just that ideally it will combine its talents with hard work. Because when it does not lean into its talents, and imagine you threw that horse into water, then it doesn't matter how hard it works because it's just in the wrong place. And that's exactly what happened to me in my first year or two of work. I was working extremely hard like this horse, yet no matter what, I felt like I was drowning for some reason. And looking back, now I know why. So when I told you in the beginning of this video that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard is only half true, that's because it is true, but it's only half of the equation. And the second half goes like this. So hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, but it's only by combining both of them that you can become truly irreplaceable. Because anyone can work hard. And you've already heard it before that if hard work was all it took, then all the janitors would be successful, right? And once again, where did hard work get me? Nowhere. And that's how I learned eventually that I needed to develop self-knowledge. And basically, self-knowledge meant I needed to know what my unique strengths and qualities are, what my values and purposes, and what my unique ways of thinking are. And this sounds stupidly simple, and it sounds like, are you telling me I don't know myself? Actually, it's because no one teaches us to truly know ourselves. And so we have loads of like layers that we need to dig through to actually get to the core of who we are and who we truly are. And to further illustrate this example, Albert Einstein said, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it is stupid. And that's very similar to this horse. But on the topic of Einstein, imagine having Einstein on your basketball team. If he did bad and he missed shots and he dropped, when he was dribbling, he dropped the ball, would you call him stupid and untalented and that he's just incapable? And on the flip side, what about if you had Michael Jordan working on Einstein's scientific theories? Would you then call him stupid and incapable and untalented if he was struggling to work through them? Or is it maybe true, just like horses and fish and birds have different talents, and if they swapped jobs, they would feel completely incapable and useless, and they would know they're made for more, and they would feel like they're grinding and drained? Is it maybe the case with humans that maybe we're all at least slightly different? I know that that's an obvious, the answer is obvious because that's a rhetorical question. We're all different. And John Mason said, you were born an original, don't die a copy. And the thing is that when we try and compete with competition, like I did in the beginning, I tried to find the best niche or the best unique idea that would allow me to beat the competition. But the truth is, what's more unique than you? And that is exactly why Naval Ravikant says escape competition through authenticity, because no one can compete with you on being you. And when you're a horse on land, that's when you have loads of leverage on your seesaw and you still work hard, don't no doubt. But the thing is that now that hard work feels like play. And that's why Naval Ravikant says, find work that looks like work to others, but feels like play to you. Because you're still doing the same amount of work. You're still pushing the seesaw up and down just as much, but now you have so much more leverage, so it's easier, and you're enjoying it. It's play, because you're on a seesaw. And, well, to wrap all of this up, last quote from Naval, he said, knowledge workers train like athletes, sprint, then rest, and reassess. And that's because true knowledge workers that have self-knowledge don't feel the need to make up and compensate for their lack of self-knowledge with grinding, because they have self-knowledge and they know what to work on. And this is exactly why Warren Buffett said, and I will paraphrase him, he said, what matters is not how hard you row, but that you're in the right boat. And so the key is being in a boat that is true to you. So that's all for today. And I hope you can actually apply this to your life and start reflecting on what your curiosities are and what you're interested in. Just like right now, my work, what I'm teaching right now is very closely linked to my curiosities. In fact, I love talking about this topic. You can probably kind of sense my energy here. And this is my first take. I've not practiced this at all. And well, yeah, hopefully this can change your life. And if you would like any more guidance, I will link my free community down below. I am doing consultations right now, free consultations. And with that, whatever you decide to do, as always, I wish you all the best. Until next time, and remember, it's already there within you. Ciao.